was an unsightly mix of packed dirt, mud, and gravel. The players displayed the cuts and bruises they had received from its rocky surface. Our football-playing sons cringed. Ruts in the field caused by melted permafrost led to sprained ankles. Without grass, lines could not be painted onto the field. Instead, the field was lined with flour, which provided a welcome post-game meal for the resident birds. Sitting in the comfort of our home in Jacksonville, Florida, with our subtropical climate and lush green sports fields for our children to practice and play on, my heart broke considering the physical sacrifices these kids were making to play football, to play a game my family had been born playing. I turned to see tears in Carl's eyes, too. He was a high school coach who had played in the NFL. Carl could relate to the players as well as the coach's plight in starting a program in such adverse conditions. ESPN reporter Wayne Drays did a great job of presenting both sides of the controversy in Barrow over adding football. As much as my family loved sports, I could sympathize with the teachers there who cited other needs that could have used the funding and complained that football benefited only a certain part of the population. Yet I also knew the unifying power of sports. Sure, Carl and I had witnessed what can be the damaging side of sports, but we'd also seen how sports can reach across a range of socioeconomic groups, bring the youth together into a team, and develop young men to become difference makers in society. The story moved me emotionally. As it ended, I had no idea that it would move me to action. Taking the time to watch the story forced Carl and me into rush mode to get ready for church. We swiftly changed clothes in our bedroom as we discussed the story. I understand the educator's points about needing books, computers, and laptops, I told him. But what good are they if the kids are not going to school? What good are they if the kids are ending up in jail or committing suicide? I know, Carl said. You know, I continued, that football program is going to save the lives of those young men. Yeah, he said, you're right. A sports family. ESPN and blueberry muffins. The morning the Barrow story aired wouldn't have been an official Sunday morning in the Parker household without our 4 children, ranging in age from 12 to 17, getting their ESPN fix while I made muffins from scratch. The muffin recipe came from my mama. The ESPN watching came from Carl. My husband played 6 seasons of professional football, including 2 in the National Football League. Kyle, Colin, and Kendall grew up throwing, catching, hitting, and kicking balls. When our daughter Kara came along, we hoped she would lead us into the land of music and dance recitals. But the boys insisted on putting a football helmet on her head and a ball in her hands, and as soon as Kara was old enough to express her athletic aspirations, our hopes were dashed. We were a sports family through and through. Mix in witnessing in our home each week the positive impact football could have on teenage boys, and we were ripe to be pulled into a moving sports story. During Carl's 2 seasons coaching high school football, we had been hosting players at our home on Thursday nights. We'd rotate groups of players by position, with anywhere from 12 to 18 eating dinner with us each week during the season. It was a challenge satisfying the appetites of that many high school football players. So every week I prepared meatball subs on French bread with salads, followed by homemade banana pudding for dessert. One player ate so much that Kara often came home from softball practice to find no food left for her. The players came to count on the Thursday dinners in our home, and we relished the opportunity for them to see Carl in a role outside of their coach. That included being a dad to his sons and daughter, and a father figure to their teammates, some of whom didn't have a dad at home. As I had watched the ESPN story, I'd wondered, if football could make a noticeable impact in a comfortable, affluent area like ours, how many lives could it change in Barrow? My conversation with Carl about the Barrow story ended before we left for church, but the needs of those players